night, gang. I know the countdown timer didn't go yet, but I needed to get this started because I have something arriving at my house this morning that I have to sign for, unfortunately. So, plus I'm so late. I just figured I'd start now. Today, it's normally FTG Thursday, right? FTG Thursday, but and I'm wearing my headphones like this because I got to be able to hear the doorbell. But I also have questions about some things happening in the world, mainly dealing with Russia-Ukraine, because something's not sitting right with me. Okay, now the other day I said, what side do you need to be on? I'm not an ace. I don't care about these two countries. I mean, other than how they affect the rest of the world. I don't like the fact that Russia has encroached on a sovereign country, but this is not the first time they've done this in Ukraine. And I'm trying to figure out where, if you see people have a little flag, that little yellow and blue flag that a lot of people starting to put on their Twitter accounts. I'm wondering, where the hell were y'all in 2014? Where were you? I'm watching people on Twitter talking about if you even have any kind of questions about this. If you don't expressly say that you're on the side of the yellow and blue flag, you're a Russian bot. You're a Russian dupe. You're a traitor to the United States, a country that's not even in the war. I'm like, I don't give a damn. The only reason I give a damn is because it's a war that could grow if everyone starts jumping in it, and people are starting to jump in it. Why? Now the whole sanction thing, maybe that's going to hurt Russia enough to, especially now that they're stealing some of the oligarchs' yachts. Did you see that? Germany is taking this, has confiscated. The guy, one of the oligarchs of Russia, has a $500 million yacht or something like that. And they took it to Germany to get some servicing done on it, and the German government has confiscated it. Now I wonder if that guy is going to go back and say, Vladimir, you know they took my yacht, right? They took my yacht. Now, I know you think you're in charge of this country, Vladimir, but that's my yacht. And if I don't get my yacht back, you may not be president for long. I don't know what's going on with that. That's kind of hilarious, actually. But I don't like the idea that they can just confiscate their yacht. I don't like the fact that, okay. I don't like the fact that some of these social media companies all of a sudden are blocking out the Russian people from social media, blocking out Russian owned news outlets. Now, there's like some of these Russian news outlets have American correspondents in the U.S. Do we block them out? Do they not allowed to have a voice in the United States? Now, look, I don't want to hear Russian propaganda, but I don't want to hear Ukrainian propaganda either. There's propaganda all over the place on this one. And it's just amazing. Now, I'm going to warn you, if you see the pinned comment in the comment section up there, you will notice that I am going to have to take I'm going to have to answer my doorbell today. So at some point this morning, you're going to see my Be Right Back elevator music thing going on. And I'm preparing you for that now. But anyway, for now, let's do, I'm going to play the intro and then we're going to get into this a little more. So Johnny, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. I stopped the music, and just like that, there's my doorbell. I will be right back. I apologize.
You're so fine, oh lady. Let your body take control. You're on my mind, baby. Just move a little closer.
All right, I'm back. All right, sorry about that. We had an appliance being delivered today, and they said between 9:30 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. And if I wasn't there to answer the door, they would take back to the warehouse, and then I wouldn't be able to get it until Monday. And the family needs a microwave because our microwave went kaput, and we're installing a new microwave. Anyway, hello. Welcome to the show, and I am your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. And welcome to the Morning Night Live. It is Thursday, the 3rd of March, 2022, and I am so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in the chat real quick, and then we're going to get on to it. First in the chat this morning is Mr. Advocatus Diabli. Thank you for being here. Well, that's pretty quiet. What's going on with that? Why'd that go way down? Let's try that again. Oh, much better. The crowd decides to wake up. Also, good morning to Tyler F. Gunfox61, our administrator of our Discord server. If you have not joined the Discord server, there's always a lot of extra news bits on there and links to all the shows and everything, and links to other people's shows and links to all kinds of things, and some funnies, some memes. Throw some memes in there. I'm going to be checking the memes. We're going to do a meme day one of these days. Anyway, also good morning. Excuse me. Wait, let me check something here. I got some notifications here too. Thank you, Somnambule Nation, for streeting out the show. And also, good morning, since you're the next one on the list. Good morning also to Selecta Boy. Whoa. Yeah, there we go. Boy. Also, good morning. K-Show, Rotten Corpse, welcome back. Tyre Alexander, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tyre Alexander. Happy birthday to you. Also, good morning. Attack Alpaca. DI Freighter Watcher. Cannon Hotep. Salute, sir. Also, good morning to who else is here? Is anyone here? Oh, there's Cannibalistic Wizard. Nice to see you. And it's a light crowd today, but that's okay. I see Teresa the Kid. What's up? Oh, not much. The baby's waking up earlier, so I'm here this AM 2 days in a row. Well, that's fantastic, and I hope the baby's doing well. And I'm glad the baby's home. That's a good thing. All right, so my question today was, where were y'all at in 2014 when the Russians took Crimea? Because there's a whole bunch of people on Twitter. Boy, oh boy, the people on Twitter. People putting little Ukrainian flags in their bio and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, isn't that cute? You probably didn't even know. You probably didn't even know where Ukraine was before this particular incident happened, and a lot of you didn't really give a shit about Putin back then either, or well, I would say before Trump, right? Because remember, as I was talking about yesterday, you know how, y'all know how, Vladimir Putin, you know how he came into office, right? We kind of talked about this yesterday. He kind of came into office kind of with the blessing of none other than William Jefferson Clinton, right? So it's fascinating that the aggressor in this situation was kind of not necessarily ushered in, but when what was the drunk guy's name? Not Andropov. What was the Boris Yeltsin? Remember him, the drunk guy? He was drunk all the time. He had red nose. He and Clinton had matching red noses kind of at the time because I think they both did a little this too much. But anyway, they got the emails and stuff or whatever, the communications between him and Clinton, and it's like, we're thinking about having Vladimir Putin be the next president. And Bill Clinton's like, yeah, that's cool. I guess that's cool. We can work with him. And so then all of a sudden, instead of waiting for an election, Boris Yeltsin steps down. and they installed Putin as the new president. And then 3 months later, then he has this like landslide, presidential victory, right? Okay, so that's with the blessing of the Clintons. And then during the Obama administration, okay, and I know I'm skipping the entire the Bush years, but still, during the Obama administration, right? We didn't really like the Ukrainian government at the time, and I don't know if that was, well, maybe they were a little too pro-Russian, but because remember when Mitt Romney ran against Obama in his second, was it the second time? Who did Obama run against the second time? First time? Oh, that was John McCain. No, John McCain was the first time. That was a disaster. When he ran against Romney, Romney's like, oh, who's the biggest geopolitical foe? And he's like, Russia. Oh, the 80s wants their foreign policy back. But then somehow we kind of pushed Ukraine into, I don't know was it a coup or was it not? I don't know. But we got a friendly government in Ukraine during the Obama administration. So we first, when Russia, we kind of helped, we kind of looked the other way with Putin, and then we came in and got our government in there in Ukraine, and all was fine and good. And remember Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State, doing the big reset button. Remember the reset button? You remember that, right? So Hillary Clinton comes in, and we're kind of friendly with both. But then what happens? Russia decides that they're going to take Crimea back from Ukraine. And what did we do? I mean, we sent military aid, right? We sent military aid to the Ukrainians, but what was the military aid? Does anyone remember what the military aid during the Obama administration was? The military aid during the Obama administration was, but did they really take Crimea though? Well, they kind of did, because that's why Ukraine has cut off the water to Crimea. Remember that canal that they took? They cut off the water where Crimea gets 80% of their fresh water from, and so there's a water crisis in Crimea in a sense. And when the Russians did do I just saw the first thing they did. One of the first things they did when this current attack on Ukraine, one of the first things they did is because Ukraine built a dam that stopped that channel, right? Yes, Renee Matt, MREs and blankets. They said MREs and blankets. The first thing they did during this current attack, when the incursion into Ukraine, is they destroyed that dam. That water's flowing again into Crimea. Now, that was obviously a point of contention between the two of who does Crimea belong to, and I think Ukraine has a better argument. It was traditionally theirs, but then again, there's a whole lot of stuff that went back and forth back in the 20s and 30s, and into when one of the reasons is because Russia destroyed Ukraine, before that, and they took over the land and starved a lot of people and took a lot of that farmland, and they killed off all the farmers who didn't cooperate, but then they didn't have anyone to replace the farmers with. But so a lot of ethnic Russians moved into that area in the world. It kind of moved, right? But anyway, so let me go back to this thing where, so Hillary Clinton, right, was the Secretary of State then, and we gave our military aid, okay, to Ukraine was MREs and blankets and shit like that. It was agreed that Crimea would be used as a Russian military base. Then 2013 happened. Oh, okay. Well, I say more than once, I'm not 100% an expert at this, but I'm sure learning a lot as I listen to. Now, some people say I'm listening to Russian propaganda. No, I'm not listening to Russian propaganda. I'm looking back I'm going back and reading articles from back then. This is just all facts that we used to say was okay to talk about. Anyway, so we give them MREs and whatever. And then And then we have the 2016 election, right? And during the 2016 election, the campaign of the woman who's running against the guy with the funny hair paid Russians, right? Paid Russians to come up with some cockamamie story and to blame, basically, I would say the word, not just paid them, they colluded with Russians to make it look like the other guy with the funny hair colluded with Russians. And so to try to make it look like the guy with the funny hair was Putin's choice or puppet or whatever. But the guy who was supposedly colluding with the Russians still won the presidency. And so for 4, 5, 6 years now, we've been talking about how the guy with the funny hair is a Putin puppet. But then what kind of aid or what did Putin's puppet, and okay, I'm sorry, during the 2014, before the Putin's puppet got in office, the Russians kind of had this fight about Crimea, right? And there's the dispute over Crimea. And then during Putin puppet's era, now they made a big deal about whether or not Putin's puppet was going to hold back military aid to Ukraine, which they weren't getting under the prior president of the United States. But he gets impeached over this possibility of that there might even been a possibility that he wasn't going to give aid, even though he gave aid to them. And the kind of aid they gave was military weapons, anti-tank guns and javelins and shit like that. I think that's the same thing, but I don't know. But we were giving them hardware, right? Not just some dried, some beef jerky and some blankets. We gave them actual military aid. And guess what? Putin didn't do anything. He didn't go into Ukraine. And then now that Putin's puppet's gone, that, because we tried to impeach him twice, first over Russia, then over Ukraine. So you got barely, Putin's puppet, who there was no no incursions during the guy with the funny hairs, Putin puppet. But then you get President Putinbrain here, a year into President Putinbrain's term, when we stopped giving military aid again, because we had to, everything Trump did, he had to change, right? Oil, aid, anything. He changed that. And then now President Putin attacks Ukraine. And now everyone's like, oh, we're on Ukraine's side. Everyone be on Ukraine's side, which I don't necessarily, look, I'm not saying that it's wrong to be on Ukraine's side in this. I think that's probably the correct thing to be in some ways, although I don't think we necessarily need to get our asses over there. If you want to send all the, the new transgender, Air Force and, send Mitt Romney, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe Biden's remaining sons over there, fine. But I got a son who's military age, and I don't want him over there. Now, he's not going to, if he was, he'd probably be over here tapping keys because he's a very talented programmer and he, whatever. But so now, anyway, so we got President Pudding Brain, and all these people on the bandwagon. Okay, all these people on the bandwagon with, the little Ukrainian flags in their bios on Twitter, and all these geopolitical experts that have all popped up on Twitter. I think they all stated, it's almost like everyone who has one of those little blue and yellow flags in their bio, they must have slept at a Holiday Inn Express last night, because they suddenly know everything about geopolitics that I admit I don't know shit about, okay? All I know is it doesn't really look right that Russians are over there bombing people in Ukraine for some shit that I don't know what they're bombing them for, okay? And I don't know, it seems that the water in Crimea is probably pretty important. Maybe that was it, but and I don't know. Look, I know people don't like when we mention the neo. Am I allowed to say the word? The neo party of the guy with the funny mustache people that are in Ukraine. Okay, people don't like to talk about that because that is often told to be Russian propaganda, and yet, now let me see if I can find this. I'm not 100% on top of my game today, but let's look for the AP. Was it the AP? No. What's the ADL? ADL. There we go. ADL. Because they put out there was an interesting tweet by the ADL the other day, because you know they love to talk about white supremacists.
You're fucking a white male!
And they now let's see if they kept this tweet up, because they put something out that kind of some people were even saying was Russian propaganda. Let me see if I can find this. And I wish I would have done this earlier. Oh, good Lord. Because they wait, is this it? No, that's the stupid Anti-Lynching Act, which, thank God, there you have an Anti-Lynching Act. I feel so much safer now that the House of Representatives has passed an Anti-Lynching Act, because, you know, all these lynchings of black men, that could happen to me tomorrow, and I would be, if I got lynched tomorrow, the murder laws in my state would not apply to lynching, because lynching is extra super special, and so that little bit of virtue signaling legislation that's not normally the purview of the federal government would make me less dead. I'm sorry. That's some it's almost, what do we call it? Oppression porn. That bill is oppression porn, if you ask me. By the way, good morning, Nomad.
Hammer time.
And also, good morning, why are you so angry? And Maddie. Whoops, whoa, no, not that. Maddie. There we go. Got to get the right horn. And Asian Research Director, nice to see you all here. So, where is it? So, they had the ADL had a tweet about neo-Nazis in Ukraine. And I don't know, maybe they took it down. But they were talking about the neo-Nazi faction in Ukraine. There's the neo-Nazi militia, right? And how what they were mentioning is that they were trying to make contact with like-minded people in the United States and whatnot. They might have taken it down. Holy shit! Because people were kind of getting mad about it, because they were saying it was Russian propaganda. But it's well known that the militias in parts of Ukraine, one of the main militias in I think eastern Ukraine, that's actually fighting against the Russian separatists, the ethnic Russians in eastern Ukraine, the Azov, yeah. It's not like they weren't known about, okay? And even the ADL acknowledges that they're there, but if you talk about them right now, the blue check marks and the Ukrainian flag bearing Twitter accounts will start calling you a Russian bot or accuse you of they call you a Putin supporter. And I'm like, well, wait, no, that was already known about, and when they say neo-Nazis, the Azovs, they're ultra nationalists, right? And but their beef is with ethnic Russians in eastern Ukraine. So it's not like now. And believe me, I don't think Putin's a good guy. I think he's a bad guy. I've always thought he was a bad guy. I thought he was a bad guy in 1999 when Bill Clinton greenlighted him becoming president of Russia. And how we had that power, I don't even know. But he said, yeah, we can work with him. Yeah, we can work with him. So anyway, boy, this is going in a lot of different directions today. I don't know. Let me see if I can. I wonder if let me try this. Let's see. Maybe I can do an advanced search, because they oh, it won't even let me do an advanced search. What's going on here? Well, anyway, so back to the question of the day. Where were these motherfuckers in 2014? All right, now this is, I know I'm getting off on, let's see, what the hell's going on here? I'm supposed to be, oh, I see. I had, let's get into let's caught up on some of this real quick. As we get into the news. By the way, anyone else pop in? Why are you saying who's here? Tears of the Kid. Yeah, I saw you earlier. I think I'm caught up on who's here. Anyway, how's everyone doing today, by the way? And again, a programming note for tomorrow. During the show, I will be driving again on a long distance trip. And so kind of do the show from the road, and we'll see how it goes. I know that the Azov are definitely ultra-nationalists. As for being neo-Nazis, don't know enough about them to say one way or another. That's what, well, here's why they say this. One, they're in that part of the world, that was a part of the, I don't remember the history perfectly, but I know that the Germans took that part of that land in war. I know that they use the SS symbols on their uniforms, and they're ultra-nationalists, which in today's terms, that anyone who's an ultra-nationalist, that's just another term for calling them neo-Nazi, even though they may not, when they say neo-Nazi, he was a Nazi, and Zelensky praised him as a hero of Ukraine, a Jewish leader praising a Nazi. Yeah, well, here's the and it does, when I say neo-Nazi, it doesn't necessarily mean that their beef is with the Jews, okay? Their beef is with anyone who's not a Ukrainian, right? And so you can be against a lot of things if you're a neo-Nazi. Neo-Nazis in America, it's not just about Jews. The neo-Nazis in America, it's about Jews, blacks, anyone who's not the white guys, right? The white, they still have a little Aryan bent to them, right? So we always associate that strictly with Jews, but in that funny guy with the funny mustache, it wasn't just Jews. It was Jews, gypsies, gay people, and a multitude of different people that he was against. Just the Jews played prominently because they really attempted to eliminate all of them. And so that's, anyway. Hello, David McDowell. How you doing? Nice to see you. So anyway, let's get caught up, though. Now, here's how Twitter does their thing. As soon as I click this here. A week into the conflict, Russia intensifies attacks on Ukrainian cities. The mayor of Kherson told the New York Times on Wednesday that Ukrainian forces have retreated from the city, making Kherson the first major city in Ukraine to fall under Russian control since the invasion began. After more than 15 hours under continuous shelling, hundreds are feared dead in the port of Mariupol, the deputy mayor said. Explosions have been reported in the capital of Kyiv and heavy shelling in the country's second city, Kharkiv. Now, those two cities have not been taken yet. I'm curious what this is. This is live. Let me see what's going on live here. I don't even know what this is, but let's check it out. Let me move it so you can see it a little better. There we go. Let's see what this guy's saying.
Rights, and that's why we urgently need today's debate. This vehement condemnation of Russians' aggression was clearly visible 2 days ago
Okay,
in the General Assembly.
This is a news report. I don't know what this is from, but so anyway, what they think you need to know is a second round of negotiations is scheduled for Thursday, March 3rd in Belarus, according to an assistant to Russian President Vladimir Putin. According to British military intelligence assessment, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, and Mariupol remain in Ukrainian hands. Now that is different. Is that different from what it says up here? Oh no, I see. There's shelling in Mariupol, but Mariupol's still in Ukrainian hands, and Kherson, the Ukrainian forces retreated, so the Russians in control of Kherson. I don't know where these places are. I just know they're the largest cities in Ukraine. I'm assuming that the Kherson is farther to the east. Kyiv is in the northwest. I'm not sure where Kharkiv is. I haven't looked at a map for that yet. Anyway, 1 million people have fled Ukraine since Russian invasion, UN Refugee Agency says. Now, whatever Belarus MFA, the motherfucking association, second round of Russia-Ukraine talks have kicked off in Belarus. That looks about 51 minutes ago. Kyiv Independent says, according to Vladimir Medinsky, assistant to Russian President Vladimir Putin, the second round of negotiations will take place on March 3rd, which is right now, in Belarus, close to the Polish border. Hello, Lord Stanhope. Despite heavy Russian shelling, cities in Kharkiv, Chernihiv, and Mariupol remain under Ukrainian hands. Some Russian forces have entered the city of Kherson, but the military situation remains unclear. So that's two different interpretations. That's the British Ministry of Defense saying that. Here, at day 8 of Russian war in Ukraine, Russian ground forces fail to capture big cities. That's why they try to destroy them with airstrikes and missiles. Humanitarian catastrophe is unfolding in Mariupol, Kherson, and many other places. People can't get out. There's no food or drugs. Yeah. Rockhopper, what's happening? All right. So, and I'll leave this tab open, like this link open. You can read it without having a Twitter account. And that'll be in the tab below. By the way, as you know, or if you don't know, I'm telling you again, all of the things that we look at on this show, always, I keep the tabs open, and then I create what's called a one-tab link, which will be in the second paragraph of the description down below. I will update that at the end of the show during the outro. By the end of the outro, that is usually 99% of the time updated. But if you ever come back to the show and want to go, hey, what was that thing he was talking about, that article, and I want to know where it was, or blah, 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 it will be in that link. It's a link. You click it, and then every single article and video, whatever, will be in that link. So there you go. While I'm at it too, I need to chill because, I just cause. The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please hit the like button sometime during the show if you like what we do, and share the stream before, during, and after the stream. Doesn't matter when you share it, just share it, and maybe someone will check it out, and we'll get a few more fun people in the chat, and so on and so forth. And also, it helps keep the show going. And then, if you're watching a replay, put a comment in the comment section, and you can sponsor the show with Super Chats by YouTube, or if you don't want to give Susan 30% of your money, you can go to PDawgKnight.live, open a window, or just watch the show there, because the show plays there, the chat works there, and the little upper left-hand corner up there, there'll be a little box you can go, hey, I'm going to throw money at PDawg, and maybe I'm going to say something funny or clever or just whatever pertaining to the topic or not, and I'll read it's just like a super chat. It is a super chat. It's a super chat from a different location. It's the PDawgKnight.live Streamlabs super chats, and versus the YouTube super chats, because it's not everyone wants to give their money to Susan. So I understand that, and I am here for you. If you don't want to give your money to Susan, you can go to PDawgKnight.live, and you don't have to give it to her. You can give more to me, inadvertently, sort of. Anyway, all right. That's the shill for the day. All right, now, there was, let's see, let's go into the trending topic, because I wanted to, maybe I left it over here. Where the hell did I do it? Good Lord. What happened? This is normally, FTG Thursday, but I wanted to show you something, and I accidentally closed the window. So let's see if I can find it again, because this is the thing I was talking about. Let me just do hashtag Ukraine. Hashtag Ukraine. 9,590 tweets in the last hour. Lots of people talking about Ukraine. And so we're going to just go through this topic for a little bit. And there may be a few FTGs in here. So someone named Kitty Donaldson says, new Russia intelligence agency, the Federal Security Service, has drafted plans for public executions in Ukraine after cities are captured, per European intelligence official. Who is Kitty Donaldson? Kitty Donaldson, UK political editor for Bloomberg News. Oof. The agency is also planning violent crowd control and repressive detention of protest organizers in order to break Ukraine morale. That's not good. That is not good. Good morning, nobody, not me, by the way. And good morning, Renee Mayette. That is not good. Now this is I have to take everything reported about this with a grain of salt. The idea that they're going to they're planning public executions. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Here's the Bloomberg article. EU seeks to end Russian World Trade Organization favored nation status. Everyone's beating up on Russia, which they should be. I don't know if this is like trying to corner a tiger or not. Second round of talks is underway between Russia and Ukraine with prospects for a breakthrough unclear. Russian President Vladimir Putin had tough words on a call with France's president. Ukraine's central bank delayed a scheduled rate decision until conditions normalize. Volkswagen and IKEA have become the latest companies to suspend business in Russia as Kremlin forces pressed ahead with their offensive, firing missiles at Kyiv overnight, stepping up their campaign to take key cities in the Black Sea. With more than 1 million refugees fleeing to neighboring countries, according to the United Nations, the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, winking, blinking, and nod. There's a, let's see, winking would be Nancy Pelosi, Blinken would be Blinken, and nod would be Joe Biden nodding off for a nap. Anyway, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken will travel over the weekend to NATO member states neighboring Ukraine. The economic fallout for Russia continued to grow. Its central bank banned transferring coupon payments for sovereign debt temporarily, raising the risk for investors that the Kremlin could default. Crude oil hovered at multi-year highs. Yeah, look, crude oil hovering at multi-year highs, and nobody's cutting off the purchase of oil from Russia, although a couple countries are now. If crude oil is at record highs, how does that hurt Russia if they can still sell their oil somewhere? And if they guess what? You know where they can sell their oil? Because who's not going to cut off trade with them right now, who's just refusing to do it? In the immortal words of the guy with the funny hair, China. China is asshole. China will still buy their oil. So if they can't sell it to Europe, they can sell it to China. Because the Chinese aren't going to cut them off. So really, you know what really hurt them? You know what really hurt Russia and what was hurting them? When the United States was energy independent. When we were a net exporter of energy. But for some God only knows reason, Joseph Rahim Biden apparently doesn't like that idea. Maybe it's not green enough, right? Because the governor of Alaska was it yesterday? The governor of Alaska was saying, Joseph Rahim Biden, if perchance you would let us begin pumping in some of these places where we've been pumping oil again, because we have billions and billions and billions of gallons of crude available. And also we do it in a much more environmentally responsible way, so it would be much cleaner, right? We could easily make up for the 600,000 barrels a day we get from Russia. Wow. Yeah, cut off the vodka, but not the oil. Yeah, a lot of, you know what? You know what's really stupid about that? I know a little bit about alcohol, just because I was in that business for a long time. You know, a lot of that, they say it's imported Russian vodka you get. It says Dawg Knight on the front and stuff like that, or Kharkov, which is not even a Russian vodka. Kharkov is made in the United States. But a lot of those are not made in Russia. They're not imported. They make and bottle them over here. But the idea that some of these liquor stores are saying, well, we're not going to sell any Russian vodka. You already bought the Russian vodka, so you might as well fucking sell it. You're not going to sell it back to the distributors. They're not going to buy it back from you. You know what? Cut off the Russian oil. Or here's what you can do, Joseph Rahim Biden. Let's get back to that energy independent state that we were in. Maybe let them pump a little oil out of Alaska and out of the Gulf where there were already, leases, out of North Dakota where they're fracking and getting oil and natural gas out of the ground. And we're also since we are the Saudi Arabia of natural gas, where, that pipeline, that Nord Stream 2, whatever, that was supplying natural gas to Europe. Oh, guess what? We're the Saudi Arabia of natural gas. We could become a net exporter of energy. And you know what would happen if we would go back to where we were just before the pandemic, when we were energy independent? You know what that would do? Because they're talking about tapping the strategic oil reserves. Now that's just stupid. Okay? You still have to replenish those strategic oil reserves. And then what happens then? Oh, you're going to go buy more Russian oil to replenish the strategic oil reserves? How about we just go back to producing our own? And what happens is, guess what? The price of oil will drop. Right now, it's over $100 a barrel. They're talking $200 a barrel oil. Now, how that translates to us, and we're talking, like we're already pushing. I think we're averaging $3.80 a gallon in the United States. Some places in California are well over $5 already a gallon of gasoline. We start producing our own oil again and become energy independent. What happens? Well, that lowers the price of oil. That lowers the price of oil. Wow. And what would that do for the Russians? Well, they depend on oil for about half of their economy. I don't think they liked that before, because Saudi Arabia's not going to pump out more oil. They've already said they're not going to. Now, they may change their mind, but I doubt it. I don't think they give a rat's ass about Ukraine and Russia. But if we went back to producing like we were, the price of oil would come down. And we wouldn't have to import 600,000 barrels a day from Russia. Yeah, replace the strategic reserve at inflated prices on the taxpayer dime. Exactly. This is just stupid. But I don't know. I'm just a guy in my basement in a studio I built, spouting bullshit on the internet. Just seems a little logical to me. Anyway, crude oil. Yeah. Now here's some key developments. Biden's tough sanctions create worry that Putin lacks an exit. Well, yeah. How do you? The sanctions are a reaction versus prevention. Russia assault sows no let-up as Putin war enters second week. What Russian invasion sanctions mean for global... Anyway, EU seeks to suspend Russia's most favored nation status in the World Trade Organization. European Union is seeking to remove Russia's most favored nation status at the World Trade Organization, a move that could further hit 95 billion euros of Moscow's exports to be blocked to the bloc with tariffs. To the bloc, what? European Commission, the EU's executive arm, is discussing the possibility with member states, according to a Commission spokeswoman, Miriam Garcia Ferrer. And then Latvia, Lithuania have seen a surge of cyber attacks last week. Cyber attacks targeting state institutions, critical infrastructure, and service providers have picked up since the middle of last week. Baiba Kaskina, director of Latvia's cybersecurity unit, said in an interview with Latvian TV, some of the attacks have been successful but without serious consequences, Kaskina said. Ruble sinks to another record low. EU ministers dampen expectations for economic aid package. There may be little political appetite to fund new economic aid program for Europe, Finnish Finance Minister Annika Saikko. And Eurogroup President Pascal Donahoe signaled after a meeting in Helsinki. I don't know what that means. Putin tells Macron Russia will fulfill goals in Ukraine. We're going to fulfill our goals, okay? We're just going to. Hello, Duck Dog. Russian President Vladimir Putin told his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, that he planned to fulfill the goals of his invasion of Ukraine, Interfax reported, citing the Kremlin's press service. Now, what are those goals? We haven't all quite figured that out. Does it just mean we're gonna take Ukraine? And what does that mean? We are going to fulfill Russians' goals. Macron spoke to Putin at the Russian leader's request, according to an official in Macron's office. Putin told him that everything was going according to his plan. Everything is going according to my plan in Ukraine, and things will get worse.
Wow.
Putin also denied Russia had bombed Kyiv or hurt civilians, while Macron condemned his actions, an official said. Also, an Estonian vessel sinks off the Ukrainian coast. Oh, my God. All right, enough of this. Let's see, what else we got? So that's from Kitty Donaldson. Let's go back to the thread here on Ukraine. Russian soldier. Oh, here's another one with a Ukraine flag. Ukraine strong. Oh, Twitter hashtags. They've got Twitter hashtags. Oh, I feel so good. You know, there's a GoFundMe for Ukraine. Oh, here's the other thing. I got to show you this too. So I opened up my Streamlabs today, right? And let me show you the image that popped up when I opened my Streamlabs. You got to see this. At the top of my Streamlabs dashboard. Oh wait, I need to. Oh, I can't show that. How can I do this? Crap. I can't show you. Anyway, on the top of the dashboard, there's a new banner this morning. On the top of my Streamlabs, it said, "Stream to help those affected by the crisis in Ukraine. We're matching $100,000 in donations. All earnings from your charity stream go to," and then it was like something Ukraine shit. Oh, we're all getting on board. Isn't that special? Also, by the way, I saw someone talking about Coach Red Pill in the chat earlier. What was going on there? If executions get televised, it would enrage the world. Oh, absolutely. I should just talk to you guys for a little bit. Cut the effing vodka for some reason, but not we talked about the USA was #1 exporter of oil under Trump. Let's see. We should be drinking nothing but blind Russians right now. I don't know what that means, Teresa. Imported vodka, that is. I see. Cut off the Russian vodka. Okay, Teresa, to be honest, I never took CRP seriously. I hope he gets run over by a BTR or BMP. I know he did a 2-hour stream Thursday. You know, I've looked at a couple of videos by Coach Red Pill. In fact, let's see what's going on over there. What he's doing right now. I didn't even know he still had a YouTube channel. And there's a lot of people accusing him of being on the side of the Russians, which is really weird. Okay, it's really weird just because, look, the man lives in Ukraine. He has relatives in Ukraine, and but he's getting just ripped on for talking about what's going on there. Oh, I see. He did a stream. Okay, did a birthday stream last night. That was 2 hours long. I'm hearing what's going on with his videos. That's weird. Oh, did he dump all his videos off his channel? So I'll just show you one here right now because this is interesting. He's talking about something.
Jordan Schachtel is some supposed investigative journalist who claims that I'm a troll and that I'm lying about being in Ukraine.
Now, we've known he was in Ukraine for a while. He is
this investigative journalist with thousands of subscribers on
Irish cream,
Substack.
vodka, and Kahlua.
And yet
okay, cool.
He couldn't even be bothered to realize I'm actually in Ukraine. But actually, do you know why he says that I'm lying about being in Ukraine? Because he doesn't like what I say. Because it goes against his narrative. That's what's going on.
CRP would root for Satan if the check cleared.
What they do is when you say something that they don't like, they try to discredit you.
Let me tell you, I was never a big fan of Coach Red Pill because he kind of he just had a weird vibe to him that I just didn't get. But I've watched a few of these videos of him in Ukraine, and I don't have any reason to doubt his sincerity about what's going on around him. And in fact, in some of this you can hear the shit going on in the background. And so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to leave his channel up here and you guys can decide on your own what you think about him. But he is there, and we've known he's been there for a while, long before this started. And I know what's interesting though is that most of these videos that he has right now, he must have done he wears the same hat, and he must have a big cadre of gray t-shirts because he's wearing the same hat and the same gray t-shirt in most of the videos. Now I noticed one of the videos got taken down, or maybe he took it down, but it's one where he's walking around in the streets. But anyway, let's here real quick. First sponsor of the day, Tyler Alexander. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day with a small bullet. Oh, it's a sponsor video. Well, since we're on a reggae kick, let's do some reggae background music for the sponsor of the day. Here we go. Let's do something a little happy. Let's go happy right here. Oh wait, I gotta make sure there's no vocals. Just a second here. Okay, let's try. That's something happy. Here we go. Happy, laid back. And here's our sponsor today. Thank you, Tyler Alexander, for writing the ad. Here we go. Oh, that's too loud. There we go. Today's sponsor is VSA. We are the virtue signalers of America. We will co-opt your cause to score virtue points. Honestly, we have no intentions to do a damn thing. I am embellishing a little bit there. And when the cause succeeds, we will take credit for it and blame the non-VSA when it fails. VSA, virtue for everybody. All right, fantastic. There we go. Virtue Signals of America. What a great ad. That's because everyone's got their. I just laugh at the people putting the flags in their bios. I'm sorry, you don't. Whatever. I just want to smack them smack them in their head. So let's do this. I want to scroll down look at this. Let's take a quick look at this Ukraine tag. So, because a lot of people are talking about it. Oh, Now look at this. This is the typical kind of BS that I have to laugh about. Why is this doing that? Okay. No, what the hell? Oh no. There we go. So this woman says 6:01 p.m. in Ukraine. She's in Ukraine? I just want to put here my no makeup war look. I'm not afraid of being not beautiful. I need to come back to look in after what? Okay, I don't know what that means. She's doing a timeline here. Let's see. This guy's out here. The man is 78 years old, and he reports on freezing cold, refused to leave Kyiv despite the fear that the Russians would besiege it and would not be able to leave. Ron Ben Yishai, correspondent for Kyiv. You've some courage, some commitment, take care of yourself. Okay, so he's a reporter from Israel. Here's a flag. Deep respect to President Zelensky and the brave people of Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. With got the flag, got hearts and a sunflower and the stand with Ukraine hashtag. I am Russian and I am against war. That's why people should realize Putin's war is not the Russian people. You know, that's the other thing. You know, they're kind of fucking with some social media in Russia. Why would you do that? But unless the Russians are also restricting what people can say. But there are protests going on in Russia. I'm going to try to skip the pictures that are disturbing. Now this is weird. So Russia, Ukraine stuff. This has got to be a new. Yes, it is. It's a new Twitter account. Russia, Ukrainian war. Who's gonna win this war? Hashtag Russia like, hashtag Ukraine retweet. Oh, for fuck's sake. Apparently the likes say the Russians are going to win. Okay, that's weird. Yesterday, school authorities in Hamburg, Germany announced that school children are allowed to skip classes to join the strike for peace. So they're having a peace march in Germany. Okay. Good morning, Natasha. And also, always lost and nothing else. Good morning. Happy whatever Thursday. Here's another. Oh, Ukrainian flags. Ukraine is part of Europe, part of us. Today, Estonian government approved its official position to support Ukraine's application to join the EU. We must set a strong political symbol. Ukraine is a European state and belongs in the EU. I'll ask European leaders to voice support. I wonder how that's going to go over in Russia, that they try to get Ukraine to join the EU. And really, do they want Ukraine in the EU? Remember, now this is another fact that not a whole lot of people are talking about. Ukraine has one of the most corrupt governments, not just in Europe or not just in Eurasia, but in the entire world. They're like one of the top 5 most corrupt governments in the world. Always has been. They're about as corrupt as, well, Nigeria, which is my homeland. Well, not my homeland. The United States is my homeland. I am a Native American. I was born here, and I am a native to the United States of America. But my heritage is Nigerian and Irish. But anyway, so now Estonia is pushing for Ukraine to become part of the EU. Here we go. Oh, I'm Russian and I stand with Ukraine. A Russian man defiantly showing his support for Ukraine. If Russia stops fighting, there will be no war. If Ukraine stops fighting, there will be no more Ukraine. That's probably a pretty good point. But the I stand with Ukraine flags are everywhere. I laugh at, though, just the regular Twitter users who are doing that. Modi leads the way to fall in misery. That's interesting. These are people moving out of Ukraine. I'll take Putin over stilettos. I don't know what that means. Ukrainian President Zelensky said this morning that foreign fighters are starting to arrive in Ukraine. Yeah, a lot of mercs are coming in. Some people call them lone wolves. Some people call them mercs. Ukraine is ready is already greeting foreign volunteers. The first 16,000 are already on their way to protect freedom and life for us all, he said. I wonder how many of those are just ops, you know? How many of those 16,000 foreign fighters are just ops from other countries? Oh, I get it. I stand on stilettos. Let's see. I don't know who's John. This is from Sky News. This is incredible. I've just been told by Cochran Congress nearly 300 Ukraine parliamentarians just met secretly in person for only 10 minutes to pass crucial votes. Many traveled across the country, studying bravery and the most remarkable message to Putin about democracy. You know, this is the other thing that I find. I don't know if I find it humorous or it's a little bit disturbing. So when some of these people, particularly American politicians, talk about this being standing up for democracy, do they not forget how this current government in Ukraine, not just Zelensky, but the prior president also, how this democracy came to be? With a little help from the guys with the other red, white, and blue flag with the stars on it. Remember how we kind of helped push out a government? They put in a new government. It was an election. Yeah, sure. It was an election, but, the democracy. So democracy can mean a lot of different things. If it's a democracy if the government that wins, we like. Sometimes they're like, maybe it's not so much a democracy if the government we don't like wins, right? But we're all standing up for democracy now, right? And look, again, Russia, in my mind, are the bad guys here. But there's irony everywhere in this one. Anyway, thank you, Tyler Alexander, for sponsoring the show again.
Charlie's asshole.
Oops, this would be like that. There we go. I got to rearrange these buttons so I don't do that anymore. Anyway, Tyler Alexander with another small bullet who said, this war is like two villains fighting to the death in a comic book. Neither side is good, and rooting for either one is like asking how you want to be killed. Both ways and the same. We need to mind our own. Let me just embellish the sentence here. We need to mind our own damn business, not do anything to help either side. I guess. If they want to buy weapons to do their own shit, I don't care about that so much. Why we're moving troops into countries around Ukraine, I guess to help protect NATO allies or something. I still don't know. I wish I knew more about my geopolitics. But this one's interesting. He could fill up a plane with money and escape Ukraine, but he didn't. Oh, this. Now, you know what? You gotta admire Zelensky, but there's also a bit of there's a little bit of propaganda here, and but good. I mean, not all propaganda is bad, I guess, but it's interesting. He could fill up a plane with money to escape Ukraine, but he didn't. He could hide in a bunker, but he didn't. He could hand the country over to the Russians, but he didn't. This is what bravery and honor look like. Well, thank God that the guy with the funny hair gave him a lot of javelin missiles and anti-tank equipment, because boy, oh boy, the Putin puppet, sure, because the Putin puppet would just be giving Ukraine and Russia right now, right? Oh, wait. They waited until he was gone before they attacked. Okay. I'm still waiting here's the hot take. Did I mention the hot take that I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for a specific hot take that I know is going to happen. I'm going to go on to some other stuff here in a second. Just the other tabs I got open, and then we'll call it a day. You know what the hot take I have? I know that it's coming. And I don't know who's going to say it first. Maybe Joy Reid before her last show. Maybe Rachel Maddow. It's got to be one of the MSNBC people. Edie Mistel. Somebody at MSNBC is going to come up with this hot take, right? And then it's going to be echoed by maybe some U.S. politicians or whatnot. Here's the hot take that's coming. And I know it's coming. I know for sure that this particular hot take is coming because I was trying to think of what's the most ridiculous hot take that somebody could come up with. Here it is. Especially if the guy with the funny hair decides to run for president again. Here's the hot take. Vladimir Putin, I think I've said this before, Vladimir Putin made his incursion into Ukraine to make Biden look weak so that Donald Trump could steal another election. Right? Is that it? That's what it's going to be. I'm waiting for it. Someone's got to say it soon. It's got to come soon. Anyway, what else do I got here? I don't know what happened to that. Let's see. Amid attacks in Kharkiv, a building housing our partner facilities, other nearby Jewish sites were damaged by Russian bombings. We're grateful no one was inside. This is an ADL tweet just now. We're grateful no one was inside and stand in solidarity with Kharkiv, Hillel, the Jewish community, and the entire city. Russian strikes destroy centers of Jewish life in Kharkiv community. Well, they've bombed a lot of shit over there so far. We are offering $5,000 reward for info leading to the arrest and conviction of the individual responsible for 2 reportedly anti-Semitic assaults in Brooklyn on February 24th. We urge those with info to contact NYPD tips, NYPD hate crimes. Okay. Hannity was trending this morning, and Hannity was trending because he said something. Well, look, this is, by the way, the blue and yellow flag virtue signaling is not just happening on the left. It's happening on the right. It's happening in the center. It's happening all over the place. So here is, who says, this is someone, Sean Hannity suggested that NATO bomb that long Russian convoy, and then just doing it, and then just nobody take credit for it, so that they wouldn't know who did it, like as if somebody didn't have radar and see where they went. Anyway, and then he also possibly suggested, now I don't know if I'm just going what someone else says here, he possibly suggested that he argued in favor of assassinating Putin. Dangerous stuff. So here's the Rear Clear Politics article. Maybe they'll actually have a quote here. FTG and Sean Hannity too. I think I've never been a fan of Hannity. I mean, maybe sometimes I agree with him, but I'm just not a fan. There's something about Sean Hannity that drives me nuts. I don't know what it is. Anyway, Hannity, this is Real Clear Politics, saying NATO should bomb Russian convoy. Putin wouldn't know who hit it. Let's see if they have the video. Now, because if they don't have the video, I don't know if I believe it. I want to hear exactly what he said, because unfortunately, everyone's words tend to get twisted. Here's what they are claiming. Conservative commentator Sean Hannity called on some smart country to drone or send a fighter jet to bomb the 40-mile-long Russian military convoy on Wednesday on his radio show. You would think that maybe these European countries would get together and they'd be arming the Ukrainians that show they are willing to fight. Huh. Interesting. If we can see on satellite imagery where the convoy is, I don't know, maybe some smart country, maybe NATO, might take some of their fighter jets, or maybe they can use some drone strikes to take out the whole damn convoy. Then nobody takes credit for it, and Putin won't know who hit. Okay. He says, yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear what he said exactly.
What we ought to be focused on is energy and the military. Those are the two things that would matter the most. And we ought to be providing the munitions that are needed, the javelins, the Stinger missiles that would be most effective against this Russian army. Now, as of this morning...
Is he wrong? As long as there's a difference between providing it and doing it yourself, right? If they're fighting their own war, I don't know.
Morning, this 40-mile convoy of Russian troops and Russian tanks and munitions and fuel, they're only 18 miles outside of Kyiv. And let me tell you, when I look at that, I'm thinking, uh-oh, this is about to become, it's about to go to the next level. And I pray to God Almighty I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, he said, the guy that said, hey, let's bomb the shit out of the nuclear powers military convoys. Well, but if the Ukrainians are fighting them, that would be bombing the shit out of the people who's attacking them as convoy. That's why I don't get who should bomb the shit out of their military convoys. I'm just so confused about all this, man.
And the next level would be a massacre. And the next level would be the toppling of the government of Kyiv. The next level will mean thousands upon thousands and likely tens of thousands of people dead, and that might be on the low side. That's what I fear the most now. Now, you would think that maybe these European countries would get together and they'd be arming the Ukrainians that show that they're willing to fight. You know, if we can see on satellite imagery where the convoy is, I don't know, maybe some smart country, maybe NATO might take some of their fighter jets, or maybe they can use some drone strikes and take out the whole damn convoy. And then nobody takes credit for it. So then Putin won't know who to hit back. Well, he's threatening nuclear weapons. Hannity, you talk about nuclear war. I'm not talking about nuclear war, nor would I support one American boot on the ground here. But at what point is this going to end? Because nobody did anything after Georgia was taken in 2008. Nobody cared about Crimea being annexed in 2014. It's interesting how Donald Trump, Putin did nothing during those years. And I would argue it's because he feared Trump and he believed Trump would do whatever was necessary.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know I'm not sure what's wrong with that. The part about I don't want any Americans involved in it makes sense to me. I don't know. Anyway, let me, thank you, Horrible Gamer, for sponsoring the show. And Horrible Gamer, guess what? You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you so much. It says Coach Red Pill is a grifter. His family and him live in some place in Ukraine. He went to Kyiv for business and got stuck in the war, but the Russians did not coalesce around Kyiv from the ether. He choose to stay to revitalize his YouTube channel. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm just going. I'm keeping an open mind on a lot of things that maybe other people would think you're listening to Russian propaganda. I just don't really know what to make of him when he was wandering through the town he lives in, which is Kharkiv. He's in Kharkiv right now. And when he was trying to go shopping, he just did a little video walking through. And then some people, the reporter is saying he's not really there. That's kind of silly to me. If he's there, he's there. But his version of what the Russians are doing around the big cities seems to be spot on, and it seems to be coming true. So I don't know. Thank you so much for sponsoring this show, though. I really appreciate you, man. I just don't know what to think. But it's funny how that the rest of what he said there wasn't mentioned in this here, suggesting he had to bomb the Russian convoy. And he says last night he argued in favor of assassinating Putin. I didn't see that there. But anyway, let me get through a couple other things that we're going to get out of here. A moment NATO country got attacked in retaliation, U.S. troops would be involved. How stupid. Yeah, that's a possibility too. Allegedly, CRP was kicked out of Kyiv and is in Kharkov now, though it looks like the same room. Yeah, I noticed that too, because he supposedly got kicked out of his hotel or something. I don't know. Oops, I accidentally hit that. That's probably going to play again. Not intentional. So anyway, people are bitching about Sean Hannity for that, which people bitch about Sean Hannity anyway. Now it's funny. Then this person here with the fuck Putin Ukrainian flag resistance fighter 2020 hashtag Trump coup attempt. Arrest this traitor now and all his co-conspirators, Giuliani, Bannon, Kozar, McCarthy, Meadows. They want to arrest every Republican. Trump and right-wing lawyer were part of a criminal conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election. Oh, this is CNN. I'm going to have to read this one later. I'm going to put that in the tabs. This has to be weird. Oh, this is weird. Now, this isn't even listed as an opinion. It says, this is Biden presidency facts, first U.S. list. I don't see opinion on this. Trump and right-wing lawyer, former President Trump and a right-wing lawyer were part of a, quote, criminal conspiracy, end quote, to overturn the 2020 presidential election. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot alleges in a court filing Wednesday. So the January 6th committee alleges this in a court filing. Weird how the FBI had already said that this was not any criminal conspiracy, but apparently the January 6th committee has already decided it is and put it in a court filing, which CNN automatically puts in as a headline, because people only read headlines. They put it as a headline and then puts the January 6th committee alleges. It's fact. They make it sound like a fact. Trump and right-wing lawyer are part of criminal conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election. January 6th committee alleges. Okay, I'll leave the article up. Let me move on so I can get this done. I just found some funny quotes. The only vaccine that people take 3 times, then wear masks, close businesses, stay home, and still get the disease, only to turn around and blame the unvaccinated for the troubles. Oh, this is the only vaccine. That might end up in a proverb for the current year near you. But this one definitely could end up in a proverb for the current year. We live in a time when intelligent people are being silenced so that stupid people won't be offended. Oh, damn! What the hell? That's a strong one. This. Wait, whoa! I don't know if you've seen this, but this is awesome. This. Let me just show. You need a full glory on this one. You need to see this one in its full glory. This was part of a news report, and I really, really hope they find this guy, because this is this one's, well, I just hope they find this guy. This was in a news report in Pittsburgh.
It's not clear what may have been taken, and no arrests have been made.
A 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl
What?
at the Walmart in West Memphis
What?
Sunday afternoon. According to
It's not clear
Wait, what was that? Let's play that one again.
what may have been taken, and no arrests have been made.
a 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old
Oh no!
girl.
Oh, now the best part of this is, maybe I can click it. If not,
Walmart.
let's see if I can get it. This guy's look. The co-anchor. He's looking down going, oh shit, we're in trouble. We're in trouble now.
Mifflin Sunday afternoon.
Yes, I'm going to leave that up. The link that'll be in the description down below. I think someone down here has the picture of the guy's face all by itself right here. Look at that face.
Hello, dark darkness, my old friend.
That is hilarious. Okay, let me get through this now because now I'm way behind. This is the President Vladimir Zelensky. A lot of Vladimirs over in that part of the world. Vladimir. It says there is no weapon you wouldn't use against us, against free citizens of Ukraine, and now you go out and tell your propagandists that you are going to send so-called humanitarian aid to Ukraine. Yeah, he was salty, and he should be, because I don't know, the idea that Putin's calling this humanitarian aid. But anyway, now Russian Orthodox priests are calling for peace, which who knows how they're going to be silenced in Russia, but a group of 233 priests and deacons of the Russian Orthodox Church has launched a strong appeal to all those who can bring an end to the war in Ukraine. They have described the situation as fratricidal and saying that Russians and Ukrainians should be brothers, I guess, and called for reconciliation and immediate ceasefire. So if you want to read that article, it's from Vatican News. There's another thing from Business Insider. This is a little what do you call it? Coof propaganda. Airline passengers who refuse to wear masks have turned violent, and the battle's about to get even uglier. So they can show you some anecdotal cases where people haven't wanted to wear masks and got kicked off of planes. I just think it's weird that Business Insider has done an article on this. Across the U.S., mask mandates are being lifted by retailers, colleges, theme parks, music festivals, and even state governments, but that's not the case on airplanes, where the Transportation Security Administration is still enforcing a mask requirement on all commercial flights, despite coming with hefty fines and the threat of criminal prosecution. The policy has spawned an epidemic of shouting matches, or worse, between defiant passengers and flight crews. Well, some of those shouting matches, like I saw one where it was a woman who was mad that she was seated next to one of those deadly scumbag leper unvaccinated people, and she was yelling and got kicked off the plane for yelling about that. But anyway, the mandate is set to expire March 18th. So the mandate is set to expire March 18th, but it's already been extended twice, and a major union of flight attendants is pushing for another extension, citing safety for the flight attendants. All those people drinking water and shit on your flights and eating the snacks that you give them, and they take their masks off, and most of the people wearing masks that don't even cover their face properly and have the gaps and the cloth and all that shit. Those, oh my God, just fucking with the mask. You're in a plane that recycles air faster than an operating room. A plane probably is the safest place, an indoor place on Earth, even if someone has full-blown COVID. I almost said AIDS. Anyway, the headline of this just pisses me off. Oh, those nasty non-mask people are violent. Violent. Anyway, why do I have Jordan Peterson? What is this? Oh, the Star Spangled Banner. It's Star Spangled Banner Day. So, oh, say, can you see? All right, that's it, gang. I got to call this a day. I will have links to all those things, the videos and whatnot, and the Twitter and just and that. Plus, links to my other social media if you ever wanted to see me on those. And then I think the last thing I do have, if you want to look at Coach Red Pill's videos, from Ukraine, you can. I'm taking with a grain of salt. In fact, if you need to go to the feed supply store and buy a giant block of salt lick, take the videos with that. But it's interesting what he's saying, reporting from Ukraine. He might just be a grifting piece of shit, but you know what? It's still interesting. He's there. All right. So I'm leaving the link in there. So if you want to look at them, you can. If you don't, it's okay. Don't. I'm cool with that. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to call it a day. Again, programming note tomorrow. It'll be a show, but it'll be from the road. Probably me and Lady Boomer laughing about some shit. And since I'm going to be driving, we'll do an AMA because I'm driving 250 miles or 300 miles with the trailer, and I'm not going to be able to pay attention to the chat that much, but Lady Boomer can read the questions and we can kind of do an AMA, and I have a couple things I want to talk about tomorrow too, so we'll get to those. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for today. Thanks everyone for being here. Hit the like button before you go if you haven't done it already. Share the stream. Put a comment in the comment section if you're watching a replay or if you come back for something else. And you can sponsor the show 24 hours a day at PDawgKnight Live, Venmo, Cashapp, and during the show with SuperChats. I will read whatever you do on the more normal days, or on the when you do the Streamlabs and or SuperChats, because you know I will. Thank you for our sponsors today, Tyre Alexander and A Horrible Gamer. Thanks for being here, everyone in the chat, and thanks to people who watch the show on replays. I appreciate y'all too, because Mirage Vegeta and Tazzy, and there's a couple regular people who watch and put comments in the comment section. I really appreciate y'all too. Anyway, that's it. I gotta go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.